Welcome back. Segment 2 of the Movie Zone, brought to you by your local Ford stores. Visit buyfordnow.com. Ford.
Go further, Austin.
Adrian, the soundtrack of the week picked by you. Why?
Because I came back from Vegas with the Skyline volleyball team at like 3 a.m. We watched Mr. Deeds, and it's a funny movie. So that's a good soundtrack.
So Mr. Deeds is the soundtrack of the week.
Yeah, remember when he's singing in the plane to David Bowie to this song?
I do. I love it. It's a good.
Right.
We could have gone with something World War II. That's kind of the theme of the day, or something fantasy with Evermore here. But I like the off the beaten path. All right, welcoming into the studio now the people involved with the movie Before Your Time, a local project. Lucas McGraw, the director-producer, and Janie Wilkinson of Community Film Project. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much. We're so excited.
We're excited to have you.
Very excited. Thank you.
I saw about 15, 20 minutes of the film at its Kaysville premiere. It's a long story. I had many personal commitments that night, so I couldn't stay the whole time. But what I saw was not what I expected. I expected someone with their iPhone making some little independent film around Davis County and elsewhere, and I saw a Hollywood production. Lucas, first of all, before we dive into the nuts and bolts, what is Before Your Time, and how did it come to be?
Well, Before Your Time was started by the Community Film Project. And so the Community Film Project, if you think like community theater, we try to see if we could do something like that for film in Davis County. So rather than sitting in a room and, talking about making films, we actually gave people an opportunity, a springboard to try filmmaking out, And it was started by a bunch of people that actually work professionally. I work full-time as a film and video producer, and a couple of the other guys that have since left, but in the original group that started, a lot of us were professional graphic designers, people that have gone to film school, and we're here to teach people in the community how to make movies. And then, so as part of it, our big project was to make a feature film, and we made Before Your Time, which has been shown to thousands of people, and now the Megaplex has seen it, the buyers of the Megaplex, and they liked it, and they're going to show it in a couple
We know them.
places
They're
in
good
Utah.
people.
Yeah, Cal Gunderson is the one
awesome.
who said, we're doing this. I don't care what it costs. Here's a blank check. No, that's not exactly how it went.
No, he said this is perfect for our audience here in Utah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it features a lot of places in Utah, mostly in Davis County, because that's where the movie was made. But
That's fine by me, being a born and raised Laytone.
Laytone over here.
I love that. I love that idea. Janie,
Yeah.
you're with the Community Film Project, and you star in Before Your Time. Do you also juggle? I don't know. What other talents do you have?
I can't juggle. I can't. Although there is a scene of juggling in there where my character's learning and failing miserably. But
Did you know that?
I did. I didn't.
Now, did the
Unless
character fail because that was the director telling you what to do, or are you actually good at juggling? Or?
actually, I have to tell you that Lucas as a director was a dream, because he let us kind of take our heads in some of the scenes. He let me do a lot of impromptu stuff that he actually kept in it, and my juggling failure was never written in or out of it. It's just me.
Oh, awesome. I mean, good acting. There,
Yeah,
Janie.
well done.
Yes.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
You told me walking in, this has never been done before. Exactly what did you mean by that?
Well, there's been a lot of efforts to do community film, to the concept of having a movie made from the ground floor up, written, and the music and filming and actors and everything. But it's kind of come across like a home movie in the past. This is the first time that we've been able to find anywhere in the world that it's been accomplished at this level, where it's actually a full feature film, and it's certainly the first time it has ever been picked up by a major movie chain in a state or anywhere and been shown, because it's just that high a quality. And that's hats off to Lucas.
And is it all local actors, everything?
Yeah.
Much like a community theater like you were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, in the film business here, granted, most movies cost hundreds of thousands to millions to make, and so a lot of times people don't have time for people's learning curve. Well, we were trying to create something that would give people the opportunity to learn.
That's cool.
And, this film, like you said, it was from the ground up. We got AP English teacher from Davis High to lead the writing of this.
Wow.
And so it was written, and she was the head of story. Her name's Kayla Anderson, and And then from
She
there,
had a team
we
of writers. My son was one. That's
Oh,
how
really?
I found out about it.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And we had auditions. It's hard to start because so much has gone on, right?
It's so, but it is really just ground up,
It
completely
is
built.
completely. And then
Yeah.
they sent out a call asking for musicians in our community to submit songs. It's amazing that the songs that they sent in and gave to us actually fit the scene so beautifully.
Cool.
And we have a soundtrack with 35 original songs and an original
song for the movie.
For the movie, soundtrack written by Phil Stokes, and it has been selling really well. It's an amazing soundtrack, and it's all original music.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe we should have done that instead of Mr. D's.
We'll do
Our
it.
soundtrack
When
of the
you-
week. Shame on you.
Sam, sorry, we'll do it next week.
It's
Well,
on
for sure.
on
Book it.
Spotify. We'll
Next
send you a
week,
link.
that is
Yeah.
our soundtrack.
We do a local band Friday here at the Zone anyway, so we'd love to have those bands featured time and again.
Definitely.
That'd be great. I'm
Definitely.
running low on my local bands to
Sounds like
pick
you have-
from, so
Oh,
I might
we've got
need to.
musicians.
There's
go
a
to the
lot
well.
of musicians when they submitted their music were like, this should be like in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty,
Right.
stuff like that. Stuff from like Cody Butler or Carly McKinnon, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
These are radio quality,
Awesome.
beautifully done songs. Yeah.
I think what before your time. I think what why people need to see this is, first of all, it's a good movie, but second of all, it's community. It's Utah coming together. Everyone from actors to writers to musicians to directors to community film project coming together and making a project that everyone can say, that's Utah, that's us, this is our baby.
Well, and something else too is it's given an avenue for. We've had a couple of people that have launched careers from this.
Off of this movie.
Off of this movie. Of course, there's been a lot of exposure to our community because of the sites that we did the filming on. It's been just an amazing experience. We also found that they did a bunch of other things too. They actually taught classes before the filming of the movie, so people could learn basic acting skills for those who've never done anything, and then some filming. And so it was a full reach, and every penny that people are spending on this, that the Community Film Project keeps, actually is going back to making another project. Nobody's been paid on this.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a labor
So
of
far,
love.
we'll see. We've had
Lucas is like, so far.
Well, we have some funding potentials out there now,
Good.
and so that would be
Awesome.
a great thing, because there's entities that are looking at this and seeing the far reach. This has been a reach in our community in a lot of different levels, not just entertainment, but also in mental wellness and community, the community feeling that is such an integral part of wellness, and it's just been really far-reaching in ways that I don't think we anticipated it would be. We had no idea.
Yeah, you don't make a movie thinking this is going to help someone with their depression or
Right.
their PTSD or whatever. You just make a movie, and then that's a blessing that it's helping people in that way.
It really is.
Well, let's talk about the movie itself.
Yeah.
It's got I really like the idea behind it. If you guys want to explain it better than I can, but it's essentially the mother passes away, correct? And they find a list of things in the garage, and they decide to do all these things. It's a cool story.
yeah, it's kind of a
And
mix.
where did the idea come from?
Well, it
writers?
developed with the writers. Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay,
did
cool.
we did a audition for writers, and we had about 12 people audition. So we just kind of picked one, and then it kind of molded and took form as we went along. So. So the basic story is about a family healing, and it sounds a little depressing, but it isn't.
No, it's not. It's
a
so
very
much fun.
movie, and it's about these kids that end up having to move back to where their parents grew up. After their father failed at businesses and stuff in California, they having to move back and kind of make a new life there and deal with their dad being kind of a jerk. And
He's going through his issues as
Right.
well. And that's
And-
part of it. There's a lot of different levels and different experiences here that people relate to.
and through a series of events, they end up finding this list and this guitar that their parents had. And it's a list of things they wanted to do before everything changed, they said, before they all went off to college and do
Right.
stuff. And so these kids decide to kind of do this, but in the process, find ways to cope with their grief and find healing within their family and a hope to move forward. And it's really, really good.
A movie for all ages, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Family or date night, whatever you got. Everyone, it's appropriate for everyone.
It
That's
is.
what I'm
It
going
really
for
is.
there. Yeah.
It's a G minus. There's one swear word written on a board. It's never spoken, but there's the warning.
And if that's not the most Utah writing I've ever heard, no, we had to get a swear in there, but we can't say it.
It was too funny of a joke
Yeah.
for the writers to leave out, and it really is. So, and
No,
So your kids that can't read, they'll be fine.
that's
I've been
exactly
surprised at people that have gone and seen it and come out just super emotional and just, we've gotten personal notes and things, just how much this movie had touched them. And
That's great.
like we said, we set out to make something artful and heartful, and I feel like we've accomplished it. I love the movie. Every time I watch it, I love it even more, and I'm biased, but at the
And
same
that says
time,
something. He's watched it hundreds and hundreds of times because of the editing.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
he still likes it.
I still like
it's
the
hard.
movie.
No, it's hard. I know there's so many actors and directors who they can't watch their stuff because they work so many hours on it. Then when they watch it and they feel like it wasn't good enough, or they feel like, I could have done that better. So that's a testament to how good it is if you're still loving it every time you see it.
Yeah, and I love it, and I see the experience behind it, and also the response that has been going on, and I tend to draw energy from that. For me, though, when people see this movie, they got to realize too that we're behind the camera teaching somebody how to use a camera while we're shooting this scene.
Wow.
Oh, if
Wow.
people knew.
If people only knew some of these parts, and a lot of times, like you said, it looks just like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
and it's awesome.
It's high quality.
There was nobody in front of the camera that had film experience.
You're kidding me.
No, some of us, I had done some stage. A couple of the others had done. A couple of them had never done anything at all. So they're being taught acting as they're going along.
That's terrific.
Yeah, and you won't know that. You won't know,
No,
it,
you
especially as it goes through, and as we personally see it and go, oh, I remember that scene, and we did this, a few times until you really felt it. You felt it right, and so it's just been an amazing educational experience, as well as an emotional experience and a bonding one as well.
Do you think that you'll do a second project like this in the future?
That's the hope. We're looking for a little bit more funding. We were kind of during this project, we wanted to just get something done just to show people what's possible, and it turned out better than we thought. And now I think with a little bit of funding, we could kind of keep some more, even bringing in a couple more professionals to help us achieve even higher quality.
Well, let us know how we can help if it comes around again, because we have very little connections here at the Movie Zone, but we get people like the Megaplex who are on board this time around, but we've got a few local actors and directors that we could hook you up with.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
One is right here in front of you talking to you right now.
Oh, yeah?
A failed local actor, but
Austin
one
was in a
nonetheless.
movie, but he got cut out in the cutting room.
Oh,
didn't know I was cut out till I saw the movie.
Until he brought his whole family.
Oh,
A little
that's so
party, and
disappointing.
everyone was over food, and
His
this
three
big
wo-
spotlight.
The three words you practiced so hard. And, come on. Do you count that as three words?
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's three-ish.
Three-ish. And
And
it
that
all
was kind
depends on your delivery.
I know, I blew
you
it.
could make it into an entire scene stealer there.
Well, when we showed the movie at the at Caseville, the writer had suggested I take out a few characters, and that's kind of, I think, the difference with community theater. You're like, well, these people are kind of volunteered. I can kind of shorten their lines, but we got to keep everybody in.
Don't want to
film.
axe them completely.
Yeah, we didn't.
Right.
We didn't axe anybody.
Kind of
completely.
defeats the purpose of the community film. And
If you're not good enough,
the community.
Yeah, we're going to take everybody out, but just a couple of them. So he kept them in, and he did a great job having to edit it down to a time that the theaters want it to be in,
Right.
and yet maintaining the integrity and the spirit of this film. We've had people come out in tears, as we said. We've had people brought to the movie, a whole group of teachers that were facing a hard thing, and they brought out as part of their therapy. They
Wow.
were brought to watch this movie. We had there was a school
A
of
youth group.
boys, a youth group from one of those.
They're from Logan. They drove down. The guy
Yeah.
saw it and he wanted to show them
Because
this movie as an activity. But we came out and we were interviewing some people for publicity for us
Right.
to put on Facebook. And I'm like, who are these kids? But it was amazing to see how they reacted to this film.
And what they were saying is, this gives me this makes me want to go and set some goals and accomplish something
Wow.
different. And this gives me hope. And we had a lot of feedback from young people who left. And so we're talking little kids to old people that this appeals to, who left and went home and drew up their own bucket list of things they wanted to do and accomplish, which is goal setting,
Yeah.
which is how we accomplish things in life, right?
great. That's terrific.
It was wonderful.
So where and when can we catch Before Your Time, Lucas?
Well, if you're in St. George and Cedar City, this weekend is going to run for at least a week. So August 31st, tomorrow, we're going to do a premiere party
in St. George. The Pine View Theater.
Yeah, they give us one theater down there. There's 3 down there, right? Mm-hmm. And at 7:30, we're going to be there. We're going to answer questions. We're going to give out posters and a few other things.
You'll have some actors there. The director, the Phil Stokes will be there.
Oh, the musician.
The musician,
composer.
yeah.
Okay.
He went composer. That was what I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
They'll be there, so there can be pictures, a Q&A afterwards. So it's kind of a big thing. On Saturday, they're doing the same thing in Cedar City, even though it opens there on Friday. They're doing the premiere night on Saturday because the actors can go from one theater to the next that way.
Great.
So if it's possible, get out on the weekend and have some additional fun than seeing it. There'll also be matinees all week, and it runs through both theaters through September 6th.
Great.
October 19th, it opens at the Jordan Commons.
Yeah.
And also we have a fun thing that Lucas can tell you about that we're doing, and we're going to be announcing the winners of our...
So we're doing a bad audition contest as publicity. Our budget for advertising is very small, but we want people... We gave parts of our movie out, and we started it 2 weeks ago, and we're doing a bad audition contest. So we want people to give us horrible auditions, and we're going to give like $200 for the best of the worst. So
yeah, and it's going to be announced, and we'll be playing that night. Yes, you should definitely participate.
You should do
Come and do it for the fun of it. That would be so much fun.
That's the perfect spot. That's the point.
It's the bad audition contest.
Yeah, okay, I could win that.
Yeah, that's
Austin and I
point.
struggle when he's trying to direct me on commercials around here.
So if you go to communityfilmproject.com, you can see the information and the link and the video and everything that explains it. It's up on our Facebook page as well. Okay. But you can get instructions for that. So that will be announced on October 19th at the Jordan Commons, and that'll run for a week there. And then at the very end of November and running into the first week of December, it'll be at the District in Salt Lake, Thanksgiving Point, and also at Geneva and Provo.
Oh, wow.
And we'll run for a week there.
So you can catch this between now and it sounds like Christmas-ish at one of your local Megaplex theaters.
And thank you, Megaplex, one more time.
Absolutely.
Great community support. They are.
Get your Megatub.
Yeah, your 2019 Megatub.
And hit the
it's
movie.
on sale now, yeah, for sure.
Hit Before Your Time. It sounds like a great film.
Well, Lucas McGraw and Janie Wilkinson of Before Your Time, thanks for being here.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
we appreciate
much.
Your
And
time.
if we can ever do anything else for you, let us know.
We will.
Thanks.
All right. It's Before Your Time. Check it out at megaplextheaters.com and let us know what you think. We'll be right back to wrap up the Movie Zone here on the Zone Sports Network.